Besides, you've got such friends, your brother who's always around and about you, with the very first to be at your side and to guide and to help you. And I shan't be so far away, and I know my friend Chopin will have a hand in it somewhere. No. I know it's natural you want to know all you possibly can, and it gives me in particular and all of us great happiness to
there's lots more, many things.
But the point is, my dear, the questions, some of them, cannot be answered in the material sense, because they are so far removed from material things, and there are no material ways, as far as I can see, that they can be answered. I can only give you a sketchy outline.
Perhaps later on, when we get different things, explanations may come quite easy, without speech.
I hope so, but
yes.
We can only wait and see.
It'd be marvelous.
The point is that science, for instance, in your world, has developed to such a degree that to some extent it does help to prove what we are trying to say to you or give to you. The fact that you can sit in a room and see for yourself with your own eyes things that are happening 100 or more miles or so away,
yes.
Witnessing at the same moment, to some extent does help to prove, if proof is necessary, what we're trying to convey. Everything is registered in the atmosphere. What is happening at this very second is all being recorded. It's as if the whole of the etheric world, or all the ether around and about you, all around the world, is a recording instrument. And you are registering your thoughts and your emotions and your conditions throughout life.
And such a word as space should not exist in the ether at all. There is no space.
No. Not in a sense. There is space inasmuch that you can go through space. For instance, you're going to an aeroplane, you can travel through space. But it's not the nebulous nothing that people think. It isn't just air and clouds and so on. It's much more than that. You see, the point is that if you're on a very low vibration, you can pierce. I say, if you're on a very low vibration, it can be pierced by a very high one without the low vibration being conscious of it at all.
If I were in the low vibration, I can pierce to a higher one, did you say?
Yes, it can work in the converse way. It can work in the opposite direction too. But, how can I explain this? For instance, I can walk through a door.
Yes.
You have to open it.
Yes. Oh, yes. yes, I understand.
It's only a matter of vibration.
Yes. Oh, this is very interesting.
These workmen are very quiet, aren't they?
Yes, they are. How's that?
Oh.
Somebody must be at them. Very interesting, isn't it?
Yes, I've been half asleep. Oh my God.
Okay.
No, I wish I could illustrate certain things. I remember that on many occasions when patients have had a leg or an arm removed, often they've said that they could feel the fingers or the toes, and yet they weren't there at all. It was merely the etheric body that they were sensing or feeling. The etheric body is what feels. You see, the actual body itself has no feeling. It is the etheric, the actual physical body has no feeling. It is the etheric body that is conscious.
Yes, because once the etheric body departs, well, there's no feeling at all, is there?
Then death takes place.
Yes.
Actually, people put too much store upon the physical body.
Yes.
I realize that, of course, it must be cared for, and it's a duty and very essential that one should care for the physical body. But really, if people took as much interest in the etheric body and developed that to the extent and cared for it that they do the physical body, well, I'm sure that people would have a greater knowledge and a greater awareness, and they certainly develop on a much more highly spiritual line. You know this truth, and it is a very, very wonderful and a very great truth, and so vital to the human race. If only it were taught, if only it were part of one's curriculum, as it were, from childhood, so much could be done.
Ah, yes, but it would be all these different religions that would stop to all that.
Well, religions have, of course, for centuries been used in a material sense. I mean, I don't say there isn't a basis of truth. There is, and there's no doubt there's a great deal of good in most religions. But the point is that for centuries they've been used by individuals to support their own ideas, to support their own personality, or support their own pockets.
Yes,
the point is that
support themselves.
Religion is a sop
Right.
to the human race. The point is that man must realize that he is a spiritual being in process of development, that he has the spiritual powers within himself. He doesn't need to go to anyone else to find out about them or develop them. At least he shouldn't have to. He should be conscious of them. He should know about them. There's no man, no priest, no clergyman has the power to absolve you, for instance, of any sins or anything that you've done wrong.
Yeah.
It's something that you yourself must pay for in some shape or form, which believe me you will, by the very law of nature itself. Whatever one does in life, and that doesn't only apply to your life, but all lives, all stages of existence, whatever one does, it is a gradual process of evolution. And if you make mistakes, then you learn by those mistakes. And to some extent you suffer from them. But the point is, eventually you develop and grow beyond all recognition, never go back again to recognition, beyond all recognition from a material aspect. The point is that is life, that all life is progressive, for the simple reason that fundamentally it is movement, it is motion. If it were not for friction, for instance, you wouldn't be in the world at all. Life developed from friction. The whole of nature is movement, is friction. But I could... Well, so much that I must talk to you about. In good time I will. All I want you to think about is to realize that you are being cared for as best we can. We do what is in our power for you. But to some extent, obviously, you must do something for yourself. It's your life which you are forming and have formed to some extent. But don't be disheartened and don't be put off because to some extent you may feel that you're a failure. We have all felt that we're failures, and believe me, there are many people who come here who feel that they're failures and they haven't done very much, they haven't achieved anything. I know you particularly feel that you've achieved nothing in a miserable sense, but then again, don't judge yourself too harshly. You don't know what you may have achieved in a spiritual sense. You don't know what you may have done, and I certainly know a little more than you do, that when you come here, you'll be pleasantly surprised, because a great deal has taken place of which you know nothing, which eventually you will know something. But be of good faith and good heart. There's so much, my child, that we've got to talk about, you and I, and we shall have plenty of opportunities.
Oh, I hope so.
I must go. Tell me the power is waning. We've kept this blessed workman quiet for an hour.
Yes, that's lovely.
Anyway, God bless you, my dear. We'll see you again on Wednesday night.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. dear.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye.
Oh,
A long talk. This business of not being recognised is a bit puzzling. I mean, when there's not been... Let's say we do recognise each other and all this, but we lose our physical shape.
Yes,
everybody
uses physical shape to become assumed that shape. Extraordinary, I don't know. But I'd like to know what we really look like without any assumption.
Well, I suppose, because time is nothing to them, but I suppose when we go over, we obviously retain our outward physical appearance, probably perhaps for a long time if time is in existence.
Well, you're young, about 2022.
But I think there's an intuitive thing about, I mean, for instance, you take a person who's completely blind and can't recognise anybody. Well, they have a terrific sense, haven't they?
Oh yes, they're much
Well,
stronger.
perhaps there's something like that. Not that the people are blind on the other side, I mean that.
No.
I think that's awfully interesting.